Today, in my quest to make props from increasingly low resolution photos, I'm making a Knights of Ren helmet. A lot of people are calling this one Grenade Face. I personally like the name Darth Waffle Iron, because come on. For this build, you'll need Plastidip, thin EVA foam, thin craft foam, quick seal, a heat gun, silver rub and buff, 2-liter soda bottle, sandpaper, hot glue and or contact cement, nightshade spray paint, a sharpening stone, a respirator mask, goggles, sponge brushes, a rotary tool, scissors, razor pens, or a box cutter. First, I cut these shapes out of a foam floor mat. I used a dome template that I've been using for all my Star Wars helmets. Those are on my Facebook fan page in the Helmet Templates album. But I mean, I'm changing this dome template right now before your very eyes, and the rest is just sort of me eyeballing it. See, initially I was making the helmet a little bit large to account for the internal support structure, but now I'm thinking, what if I scale them to my own head and just make them out of completely flexible material? That way they'll bend instead of break, and in theory they should last a lot longer, or at least last longer in my checked luggage. Heat form the pieces, glue them together. I'm using contact cement for the dome pieces so that it holds up better to heat. Also, I'm working in good ventilation now, and there aren't any gas pilot lights nearby. After the glue is set up, hit the dome with a heat gun to get it to go back to a dome shape. Also, I let it cool on a dome shape. It's the lid from the garbage bomb prop. I cut a rim. This helmet has both an internal and external rim, an inner and outer rim, if you will, so you gotta do both. Again, I'm just eyeballing this. Heat form it, attach the inner rim, there it is all set up, and then attach the outer rim. Wow, there's way too much footage here for that tiny bit of dialogue. Oh, be sure to periodically sharpen your knife to ensure clean EVA cuts. That's all I got. I started with this basic faceplate, cut it up, heat form it, cut and glue behind the corners to reinforce the bends, cut and attach craft foam for the waffle iron. Tell me that's not what it looks like. They could fill and sand all those seams on top with quick fill, or you could cover it with craft foam. That part I did with contact cement. I'm sort of switching back and forth depending on what I think is best. The hinges don't need to be functional, so just make them out of foam. Before you seal it, sand all the rough areas and fill it with a flexible filler like quick seal. Then coat it in Plastidip, or its equivalent. The visor is a piece of plastic soda bottle that I tinted with nightshade spray paint. If you can find those tinted plastic folders, envelopes, then those should work too. I just taped that in there with gaff tape. Okay, so as of when I'm making this video, there's no clear image of the final paint job. The concept art's different from what's discernible on screen, so I'm just doing what looks right to me. I mean, it's not like it's hard for me to repaint this later if we ever get more footage of those characters. See, building these early, it's always a risk. Like, I did the Tank Trooper helmet, and then a day later, we got a close-up, high-res shot of the whole thing. Anyway, I'm using rub and buff to give the illusion that the helmet's black and the paint is being chipped and worn away. For a minute, I was going to do this partial checkerboard pattern, but that doesn't really make sense to me, so I just filled in the rest. I didn't like some of the weathering that I did, so I cleaned that up with Goo Gone. And there you go. Now you're ready to be a part of Ray's Acid Flashback. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed this, then you'll probably enjoy some of my other builds. Check those out here. Links to annotations or cards if you're on a mobile device. And you can subscribe for future content. I am planning a test film for this, but it's a ways out. Got a lot going on right now. If you want to support what I do, then you can head on over to the Patreon page, where patrons enjoy early uploads. But, you know, no pressure. Alright, see you later. Jake out!